Isn't there projected cost on it, different?
That was the last I knew what it was gonna cost. That was my quote,
It's 20 grand.
was 20 grand.
How long has it been there?
Oh, I got the truck.
Oh, you have? They
But
just haven't
I
done the
haven't
bill, they
seen
haven't
the
done the bill yet. Oh, okay.
They're like, got this pile on the dash
Oh,
up there, they can't see.
okay,
And the wind
okay.
takes it
Yeah,
out.
dash in, try, the desk is long on this table.
Well,
And
let's
it's-
light a fire under them so that we can get it out of this.
I will-
No, because they'll use that bill for that fire.
I'll call them again tomorrow and tell them I need
Yes.
the bills
Coming to the end of the
now.
future budget
Yeah.
season,
again.
That, I mean, it seems like culverts would be the place to go.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of, but culverts. Okay, let's move on. We were at gravel, are we done with gravel and sanding gravel? We beat it to death.
I think we got a pretty good idea what's going on
Okay,
there.
training,
Think anything big coming up for training, Jeffrey?
No, just leaving that there just in case we get another guy to train for the CDL. That's
how much does a CDL cost?
$5,800.
So you leave this 8 grand there.
Yeah, plus there's other stuff that we need to be training for too. You know,
Right, but you gotta remember that besides that 5,800, 5,500 was for grader rent.
Right, but we didn't, yeah, we used part of that this year to rent that grader this year.
So that money that was spent wasn't, where am I now?
Oh, you used the training money to rent the.
Yeah, to rent
Yes.
that grader for this year. But we gotta make sure there's at least 5,800 in there
In the event.
in the event we have to train somebody for that CDL.
Okay.
Plus there's, my CCM certification, I'm certified culvert maintainer, and that cost varies every 2-year cycle, so I don't know, it varies each year, sometimes it's $80, sometimes it's 300. So it depends on where the location is, depends on how much it is.
So do you wanna leave that at 8,000,
For,
Randy?
yes,
I think you kinda have to.
yeah.
Because he asked for 11 and the select,
Right.
board.
Right.
approved that.
5,800, if
Yeah,
he gets a guy for the.
yeah, okay.
You never know.
Uniforms and shoes, are you still locked into that contract or are you out?
Right.
Next year?
So this coming June,
Okay, oh, in June.
once June rolls around, we won't be locked into that game contract anymore.
Just letting Grant stays.
So if it's only for half a year,
The plan is, once that contract is up, you're going to buy uniforms, and that's it. Because-
but those uniforms that you're getting on the contract, those are good for a whole year. So,
So the plan is that I can purchase everything that we have through the uniform company for $1,000
okay,
by buying it for everybody. I can outfit everybody under $1,000 a person, and boots, and a brand new winter jacket, 2 sweatshirts, 7 pairs of pants for everybody, and stay under $1,000 a person. I know, because I've already priced it.
so do we need 8,000?
Well,
It's
we,
4,000 for half a year, so then
You
it would
gotta
be
satisfy the
4,000,
contract.
we still have to satisfy that entire contract, which
which
is,
expires in June.
You still have to
Right.
satisfy the entire remainder of your contract.
and then we have to purchase.
Yeah.
new-
Right, but if it's 8,000 for the year, you only have to spend 4,000 to.
What's your remainder of, is it?
Right, well, it's good until June, but then you have to purchase uniforms after that.
Right, exactly, so if it's 4,000 for till June, and then.
And then
1,000
purchasing uniforms afterwards, that should cover us
Right.
for
So-
next
So
year.
that could be 5,000.
Well, no, because you'd have to purchase uniforms. after the contract's up.
Yes, it's
It's 4 and 4.
4,000.
4 and 4.
4 and 4. But 4,000 for uniform, for the contract, they finish the contract.
And
Then
it's
4,000 to purchase uniforms afterwards.
It's not all per person.
Well, the way you first said it, it was like,
No,
You could outfit everybody for
yeah,
that.
for
no,
$1,000.
no. I can outfit
Per person.
per person. Sorry, yeah.
Electric, no one's gonna argue with that one, right?
I will, 2,500 seems fine. You're at 1,400 years old, so
Pretty easy winter. Furnace ain't been running work.
yeah.
Hardly ever. No, we've been trying to shut the lights off and we're not there, so.
That's a good idea.
You know,
How come the outside lights are on during the day?
because those lights suck. The sensors are gone on them. I'm actually looking into buying, new lights to put out there that are motion activated anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, well,
Wednesday.
so
I know that
we
too.
turn the breakers on for the yard lights,
Yeah,
you know, cause normally during the summer, we shut them off.
right,
And we shut the yard lights off, so they're not running, why do you need them on? Nobody's there, you know,
Right,
when it's
yeah.
dark out. So, we turned the breakers on, cause it was starting to get darker earlier. And apparently the sensors are gone on the tops of those lights, so I'm actually looking into getting, some dust till dawn lights to replace all 3 of those lights that are on the buildings. So that they'll come on.
So if you were to do it this year, we could save on the electricity.
yeah,
So not next year, but this year. do
right,
it.
yeah.
Well, yeah, those.
Can you at least purchase them? You
I-
might not get to putting them up, but,
Oh, I can get them anyway, I can get them up. If I purchase them, I'm gonna put them up.
okay, well, I meant not, buying tomorrow and put them up tomorrow. I mean, in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, we'll get it taken care of,
So you can do that with the rest of the money in your budget too, that you're gonna use for your culverts too.
hopefully.
As soon as you hear from Steve.
As soon as I get ahold of Scott, yes.
Scott, I'm sorry, Scott, yeah. Okay, and wages. Did you hear from Sarah related to that? When I talked to her like late today, so Jeffrey may be able to explain it better than I can. But the wages that are here, according to Sarah, include what you were paying Rick to transport.
No, no.
I have it asked backwards, I'm sure.
Yes, you gotta ask
I
back.
thought so,
All right.
okay.
So, what the wages here does not include is that, I'm gonna say 10,000 that was in Rick's budget for
The hall.
Yeah.
Hall. Is now coming, not gonna come out of Rick's, it's coming out
Coming out of here.
Oh, okay, and I wanted to bring that up when he was here and we didn't get to it, so, okay.
Yes,
So,
we did.
I didn't hear that, I didn't hear him say that, highway and, okay.
Yeah, the intermingling of the funds with the,
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
All hauling is coming through highway wages.
okay,
So,
okay, so under hauling, Rick may not have needed that much money in his budget.
right, we
Okay.
deducted that.
Okay, got it. I spent hours going over this damn budget all day. My brain is fried.
So, in addition to the hall, what's the wages consist of? Is there raises in there, is it not?
So we're hoping to get this wage scale up to where it's supposed to be in, which is, well, where we would like it to be, which is, did you see this? That I had sent to everybody, along with when I sent the budget in?
Yes.
Okay. I got another copy of that, so if you wanna keep that in.
No,
So that's where really we should be, for everything, so I mean, I've got another copy of that right here, so if you want to keep it.
You've got one, I think.
Yes.
So that's really where we should be to be competitive, with the area towns around, that's where we should be in the range. I mean, mine doesn't change, obviously. But it would be nice to be able to give everybody a cost of living raise at least. You know, I would hope to be, you know, between 2 and 3% at least. You know, even if it's, you know, 50 cents to 75 cents around, depending on performance. That would be nice. And depending on, you know, how long they've been there, obviously, too.
Have you included that in,
That is it.
that is in there? Okay, and that's for how many people?
Well, when we did it, it was based on numbers for a full crew,
Which is 4?
5,
Oh, okay.
Where are you at right now?
4.
4.
Like, so that was, but that's one part-time guy. And right now, we don't have a part-time guy, we've got 4 full-time. So that's where the numbers are at for that. And I think the way we did the numbers, and the reason that that is up to where it needs to be, is because even with the last year's appropriated budget, we were actually almost $40,000 under what we were supposed to be to even cover the wages that we were sitting at before. To be at full staff.
Somebody probably was left on that bone too.
Well, that was to be at full staff.
Yeah.
So if you happen to be able to hire people, you still have to have that in there
You
just
gotta have the money, right?
to be able to cover that. So that's the thing, is if you happen to be, all of a sudden you get 5 people that, you know, apply, you have to have that in that budget to be able to cover that. I know in years past, we've not had that interest, however, it needs to be there to be able to cover that,
Yeah.
just in case. And I know in years past, that's not how it's been, but that is the one thing that really should be there no matter what. Not that in years past we've had an influx of people that really wanna run right over and come to work, but
No, well, I'm working, with Sarah on setting up a pay scale and setting it up so that there's steps to climb, depending on your, how long you've been with the department.
yeah, kinda like a 10-year program.
Yeah, so that we get a better handle on what we need to pay and everything else. It would take it help on the wage line, understand where, all, how much is actually needed, instead of just trying to grab numbers through the air, because you never really know.
Yeah, because really, I mean, the way that the scale should be set is depending on your tenure and depending on, you know, your qualifications.
Right.
So it should be dependent on qualifications and tenure, kind of, it goes in between the two, so that they kind of,
Right, exactly,
is the way that it should be,
yeah.
but it's kind of hard to judge it when you don't have one. With that in mind, Ed, you also have to keep in mind that, I know a few years ago, there was a wage scale done, and it was done completely. It was thought out and done half right, but it was looked at with different things in mind. They looked at it with mechanic, and then as a CDL driver, non-CDL driver, equipment operator.
Right, it would be something that,
That needs to be, if you're gonna look at stuff like that,
But-
that needs to be put all into one group. Just,
yes, well, it would be a number of different departments.
right, but I'm just saying, as a
Right,
general for the
yes,
highway
because-
department, that needs to be lumped all into one,
Right.
not just separations.
Right,
Because there isn't just one thing that we do, we do it all. So,
Right.
just wanted that thrown out there
yeah,
while you're thinking of doing this, something
Yeah.
like that. Phil knows he was there for a little while.
And he's right, I probably still be there, but
It's rough,
it's a dollar, it really is a dollar amount, but,
yeah, and that's the thing,
at the end of the day,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's rough work, especially for what you're being asked, you know.
If you don't mind having your ass around, you'll have a sugar for 8 hours, 10 hours a day, you thought. But I mean,
Right.
and it was hot there, you're outside, I mean, worked outside my whole life, it's not,
Right, it's not,
not
it's not
awful
horrible,
work.
but it's physically demanding,
Yeah.
it really is.
so basically, we're not gonna make a decision on the total budget, but also want you to remind you that we will call you back after we do find out what we want.
Yep.
To give you, but it's a big increase, and the thing being is, you're,
Well,
you're one of the few in town that didn't see the tax bill. Oh, there he goes again. He went into the kitchen, he's hungry.
Go get
No,
it.
he's getting
Go
it,
get
he's going back to the closet and feeding the babies.
Oh, I
Go back with
know what the tax bills are, you don't have to tell me nothing, I know what they are.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to pay one, so,
I still pay one. In a roundabout way, I still pay one.
Well, if you pay rent, you do, yeah.
yeah,
So-
but,
But,
Trust me, my rent went up too, so don't even,
but this year, we're between a rock and a hard place.
right.
oh, I get it.
Trying to-
And it's gonna be for
And I know,
all
I know what the tax rate went up. And it's not because of the town,
No,
it's
and,
because of the school.
right, and that's the sad part, is the
Yeah.
town that end up suffering because
all
of the school.
time,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
that's,
mean, I've
that's
been
the
here,
rough part.
I've been here
is.
25 plus years, and the town can never, ever seem to get ahead because we get hammered
No,
by
right.
the school.
Right, and that's the biggest problem, is that we've never been able to get far enough ahead
Right,
because we've always been stronghold, and I get that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I will say, I think the capital reserves need to be strongly pushed.
You need to figure out a way to build it.
Yeah, we gotta build them capital
Instead of
reserves.
dragging
well,
them
that's why we're looking for, that's why we've set up a capital improvements plan now.
And I will say, especially for the highway department, the only way we are gonna be able to get out of that hole is, I think, the lease purchases is gonna be the only way you're gonna be able to get out of that hole with that department. Cause you're never gonna be able to build that capital reserve high enough.
no, because it's.
It goes up, it keeps
It-
going up.
Yes, not only that.
Not only that.
For many years, there was nothing ever put in it.
It was, and when it was put into it,
Yes,
when it was put into it, it wasn't put in anywhere near enough.
no,
When
but
you're putting $35,000 into something, when you have 1.3 to $2 million worth of equipment,
yeah,
I mean, the average 10-wheeler right now, $300,000 without plow equipment. The average 6-wheeler right now is between $250 and $300. equipment sitting on the front of it. That's with no sander, no plow equipment, no hydraulic hookups for any of the plow stuff. That's just the truck with a dump body.
And are any of them made in this country?
You want my honest opinion? Mac was the last one to be made in this country, and they are no longer made in this country, they're made in Germany.
So when we buy it from someplace else and
So-
we have to pay the tariff on it,
There's
it's going to be outrageous.
There's no manufacturer, doesn't matter what you buy, even Toyota is no longer made in the United States. Doesn't matter whether they tell you it is or not, it is no longer made in the United States.
You're already paying if they were from over.
Yep. Doesn't matter, then nothing is made in the United States anymore. So, and that's the hard truth of it all, is this trucks and these equipment is not getting any cheaper.
No, and possibly if we could afford it, we could ask for like 30,000 each year, because it's probably gonna go up 40,000 each year, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
We're
why,
never gonna get ahead.
with the capital improvement plan coming through, you should be able to take from your
It's-
unreserved balance and turn it into your capital reserve.
Exactly.
And what other towns have done is made the voters
Agents
agents to
to
expend.
yeah.
And that way, you know, they're a little bit more willing to go,
And you're gonna, that's why I think the only way with the hard truth is that you're gonna have to get into lease purchases for a while. And at the end of that lease purchase, you need to get back into that cycle again.
But that's not a bad thing, the lease purchase.
No, municipal lease purchases,
Right.
what a lot of people hear is it's a municipal lease
Yeah.
with $1 buyout at the end. Well, there's no tax and there's no interest on a municipal lease purchase. So what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And that $1 buyout at the end is your buyout. And at the end of that lease is when you need to trade that truck in and continue that lease out. That's where
Yeah,
it needs to
yeah.
continue going down that road, because that's the only way we're ever gonna get ahead. Alright, we good?
you know,
Alright, we'll go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
See you next time.
Sorry we have to drag you back, but
It is what it is. I'm used to it.
it's heavy.
Any suggestions about
on highway.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like I said, there's lines. I still didn't get a great explanation of how we went from 30 in the budget to 35 in each, and we're at 70.
You know, I'm gonna look.
That's something right there that can, the paving to me, I get what you, that's a tough pill to swallow too.
Yeah.
And you're going from 10 grand to 30,
Yeah. Exactly.
there's some, and you got 100 grand left over.
Exactly.
And you're looking, yeah.
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 Plus,
Plus he's got 46,000 in the FEMA money.
Yeah.
which we can roll over.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
I mean, it
That's
would be a
not
whole lot
using that.
better to use it up front, right now,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Because whatever you buy, whatever you do next year is not gonna be cheap.
Exactly.
So, whatever you have left over in the budget, spend the damn stuff. Because offsetting taxes for you, $50 for you and $50 for me, when we could have enough money to buy something substantial with makes more sense. That's how I look at it, other people may not, I don't know.
Well, that's why,
A bird in the hand,
like last year, we said something to him about getting comments,
yes,
and he never did, he never
But
went.
I know. So, that's why I was kind of pushing him just a little to spend the money, put the bee in his bonnet, you know, because
Yeah.
I will come back and say, did you?
Yeah.
Did you take care of that situation? I don't want money going in the general fund that will be, anything will cost us more next
Yes,
year.
but the thing being is, he came in last year and said he needed culverts.
I know,
And if you look at his budget, he didn't buy any.
right, not a damn one.
Exactly. So coming in and saying, I need this, but then when you got the money, you don't, then,
Well, there's a lot of things he got money for that he didn't use.
yeah.
There's a lot of room here. This thing, there's room.
Yeah, I think we need to really go home and think a whole lot
Right,
about it.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna look for the seconds.
Well, it's 8 o'clock, pretty near 8 o'clock.
Is it? Wow.
Yes, it's 8 o'clock.
Wow,
side of the
is it
building?
8:01?
Let's go home.
Wait, if it hits 8:01, Cindy will be mad.
I didn't think we were gonna make it that.
Do we hear a motion?
Motion is adjourned.
Second.
Next meeting is when?
Next Tuesday.
Ooh,
Right.
when